Hi everyone, today I'm sharing a process video for Bramble Fox, and this time I'm showing you how I created my November Project Life pocket page spread. So I take my perspectives from the Fox box, including this beautiful November, and I pull out stash that kind of coordinates with the colour scheme of the month word. So I've pulled out these patterned papers and cut aparts from the Simple Stories Cozy Days collection. So there's that beautiful plum floral leaf piece, and I'm just working out where I'm going to put things. I always like to set them out on my desk how I'm going to have them in the spread. I tend to use the Becky Higgins Design A. So I'm just creating a little pocket over this journaling card, just to hold a couple of printed out pieces that are to do with the government letters that some of us received for the new lockdown. So I use my Project Life spread to document things that I don't perhaps need to put in full pages. I also sometimes take things from Facebook or social media, so the photo on the bottom right hand corner isn't mine, it's off the Wentworth Woodhouse website. It's a photo of their kind of remembrance memorial, they lit up the house on the Sunday. So I used to spend hours doing my Project Life spreads because I used to take each individual card and kind of pretend it was a layout all on its own, and I soon realised that what I needed to do was simplify my process a little bit. So yeah, I don't worry too much about what's on things. I have some that are just full photos, so you can see like the top right hand side is a photo from B&Q when we were stood in the queue just before lockdown. Bottom left hand side is of my study that I'm doing at the moment, so it's just more normal things that don't necessarily need a whole 12 by 12 page, but that I want to just document. It's also a great way of using up stash that's kind of left over. I don't mind using random ephemera and things like that on these. I've pulled out the bits from the Fox box for this, so the hat and scarf and the umbrella as well as the month. I do like to use these print out tags, labels. I bought them many years ago online. I think it's Caitlin Schaefer who produced them, and I do like to just cut them out and use them on these. They create the perfect little spots for adding bits of journaling, and because they're printable I can have as many as I need, and I've got various different colourways, so I can usually find some that fit what I'm using. So I pulled out a different collection, so this is just the Pink Fresh Studio Days of Splendour, and there's a few bits that kind of coordinate, so a few leaves and things dotted around. So you'll see like the Cozy Up journaling card, I think I just leave that plain, whereas before I would try my hardest to add something to it or just to make it a bit different, whereas now I'm quite happy to let it be the star of that little pocket, and accept that it doesn't really need much adding to it. Similarly with the title, because it's quite a busy tartan background, I do toy with the idea of putting something above the November. I've got those squirrels out, and I do try to use the squirrels somewhere else, but I realise that it doesn't really go, and I just add a couple of chipboard hearts, and then I decide that that really is, you know, quite sufficient for that. So I'm just cut a fishtail little tag so that I can add some journaling and embellishment to that card. As you can see, I'm trying to put those squirrels on again, but decide against it. So I like these small phrases that you get on some of the sticker sheets. They work really well, and any tiny little stickers like that floral works. So once I've decided that they're all done, I just literally flip them all over, and then I start working on the background, well, backside should I say, of them. So I do tend to stick the cards together. I find that they don't pop out quite so much of the sleeves. Sometimes they do just need a little trim, because some of the pockets don't tend to be the same size. Just working out the placement of where I want these two photos. They're quite similar photos. So the one on the left is a photo of an art journaling class that I did with Kate Crane online, and then the right hand one is from a go-go getaway design team kind of little party that we had. We had some brownies delivered so that we could all have a little celebration together. And like I said, there's things that I wouldn't necessarily want to have a full page, so like the top left hand corner is some photos that I took at the hospital when I went for an MRI scan. I don't really want them to be on a big page, but it's something that if I look back in my album, it's just a little bit of something to remind me of what was happening at that time. So I've popped the umbrella perspective at the top of that journaling card, because I was kind of felt a bit like I was under the weather, so a bit of a stretch there, but you'll see the kind of gist of it. So I like to get things to tie in together. So the journaling card at the top left hand side has got the same patterned paper as the bottom right hand side. I like to bring in that floral, and I've also brought in a couple of tags with similar like ochre yellow patterns to them. I did notice on this layout spread that I used a lot more journaling than I have done recently. There's a lot of writing, so I obviously had a lot to say when I was doing it. Not sure if it's just because of what's happening in the world at the moment, but yeah, there was a lot I wanted to document. As you can see, I finally used those squirrels on the bottom right hand card, but I did cut the right hand side's tail off just because it kind of overlapped, and I do that quite a lot. So you'll see I do that with this Grateful cardstock sticker there as well, because it's a little bit too long. So I'm just looking at adding bits. Sometimes I struggle to find places to document on the full photos, so I'm just adding that strip of patterned paper across the photo. It's quite a simple photo. It's just one of our dining room table with a jigsaw on, and the cat that was kind of sat looking at us doing the jigsaw. So I've just added a label in the centre and a mug that says "Stay Cozy," I think, so that I've got somewhere to write about what was happening then. We spent quite a bit of time doing jigsaws recently, so I'm just looking at my Bramble Fox stamps to see if there's anything that I want to stamp, and this time round there isn't. There's a fab December stamp set, and I can't wait to use that in my December mini album. So coming towards the end of the video now, I don't make you sit through me journaling, but if you look at the photos at the end, you'll see that there's quite a lot of journaling on both sides of this layout. Thanks for joining me with my November Project Lifestyle pocket page. More inspiration can be found on the Bramble Fox Friends group on Facebook and on our blog and on the website. Thanks for joining us.